morning, everyone. It's Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I'm going to do the collective for today, Friday, October 25th, 2024. You may follow me on the book, the Insta, the talk, or the tube, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, we love that for you. If some of it does not, please just leave it on the table for someone else. We just don't want you taking on energy that wasn't meant for you. That's it. Pretty easy. We're going to use the Legends of All Hallows Eve because I was in a Halloweeny mood. Bellanima 13. You can find that on Etsy. Timing Oracle, Unspoken by Poster Girl, if we need some type of clarification. I hope everybody enjoyed their Friday. Now, the funniest thing happened. I actually worked in my own department today for the first time in the last 3 days. And not including Wednesday because I was off Wednesday. I'm picking by all my buddies, actually, like all my favorite people I'm picking next to. Fabulous. The lady to the left of me, my beautiful friend, turns to me and goes, "Do you have $3?" And I said, "I don't have any cash." And she looks at me and she goes, "Oh, damn it." And then she goes, "Wait a minute, you don't have any cash?" And I was like, "No." She goes, "How are you going to pay for your pupusas?" And I was like, "My pupusas?" And I was like, "Oh, I ordered 12." And I forgot. Because the lovely lady took orders last Friday and it's like, "Oh, they'll be delivered next Friday." She took the orders last Friday. They'll be delivered next Friday. Today is next Friday. I literally turned to my friend and I'm like, "That's next Friday." And she goes, "Kim, it's next Friday. Today's next Friday." I was like, oh, like I lost time. Everything that went on this week, totally insane. So much going on. I lost time. And yeah, yeah. Uh, I got my food. I got my food for the weekend, but I owe my friend $33 for pupusas. Pupusas. I don't even know if that's how you say it, but that's how I say it because I'm a white girl. So there you go. But very delicious and homemade. You can't beat that. All right. We got 4 on the table. Five on the table. Ooh, 6 on the table. Okay, this kind of reminds me of the read from the other day. It's almost like it's going to be similar, I can tell. Sorry, I might still be a little snarfly. My nose has been stuffy all day. And of course, the lady that was picking next to me on my right was sick. I mean, she wore a mask all day, so like I wore a mask when I was in the thick of it. We got 8 on the table. Let's do 2 more shuffles here. Yeah, I got my food for the weekend, and then I realized, I spent $33 on pupusa for the weekend. Like I'm just gonna eat that all weekend long. I always do. I max myself out on it. I love it. Tomorrow's the food truck rally in the next town over, and I'm gonna go and get poke bowls because I freaking want a poke bowl. I can't even. I'm gonna eat like a pig this weekend. I mean, it's good because it's like all natural vegetables and meats and stuff like that, but okay, we're doing an extra shuffle just in case. 9 on the table. Yeah, see, this is pretty similar to the one from the other day. Bottom of the deck. Oh. All right. I'm going to hold on to this. I know the other day I was going to hold on to cards and show you guys cards, and then I completely forgot the top of the deck. I got to remember this time. All right. Let me show you what we got. We've got consumed, conversation, evidence, ancestral, I guess. Yeah, ancestral, unsatisfied, suspicion, disappointed, pondering. There's that fake Beetlejuice again. Fixated, and inseparable. Bottom of the deck. All right, so a feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. It doesn't matter. This could be you, or I'm going to say it's someone else. Someone current, someone from your past. I don't know. But whoever this person is, this person wants to come in with some type of conversation about some evidence that they have. It says they're consumed with love. When it first popped out, like, that's not what I was getting at all. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't think this person is coming in with hate. And if this person like maybe they care for you, they're not in love with you. That's not. I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that at all. Like, they care for you, they love you, but they're not in love with you, kind of thing. So, I mean, it could be an ex-lover, but it could be a family member, it could be a friend. On the card, it shows the Scream character making a phone call. So this person either might come in with a phone call or a text. Or, like, possibly even, like, for God's sakes, what is up with the hair? This fan is not that strong, seriously. Okay, I gotta move this down a little bit. I feel like it's too close to my face. They want to come in with a conversation about some kind of evidence. What is this? What is the evidence? The picture is a knife and blood. Maybe they backstabbed you in some type of way, or they, hurt you in some type of way. Maybe that's... I am getting two things with the ancestral. It says protection and guidance. So one, I'm getting, whatever happens, you're protected, and as always, you should protect yourself, right? We talk about that all the time. So I'm going to say this, but I don't think this is going to resonate for most of you, and I think this is kind of offhand, because you guys know I watch a lot of tarot and oracle, and I love watching other readers, and I love people's vibes, and like I just like hearing voices. I've always been a person like I like voices, and It's why I love music, and I like tone and background noise, and sorry, my nose itches. Um, but a lot of readers, and we've talked about this before, I think. A lot of readers talk about like, oh, your inheritance, like you're getting an inheritance. Someone stole your inheritance. Da 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 da. Da. And whenever I hear that, like I don't typically run to money. You know what I mean? Like when somebody says like, "Oh, someone stole your inheritance," to me that's not money. I mean, it could be, obviously, if it resonates for you like that, obviously. But to me, when readers say that, like I typically think of um like actual solid goods you can hold in your hand. So like property, well, I mean obviously you can't hold property in your hand, but you can hold the deed. Property, jewelry, heirlooms. Um I also think of just spiritual inheritance, because if we're spiritual, maybe that was passed down to you. Maybe you don't become spiritual until someone passes away, right? I also inheritance, spiritual inheritance. If you have gifts, you could have gotten that from a loved one, a dearly departed loved one. It's passed down. It's an inheritance. So when tarot readers do reads and they say, "Oh, you're getting an inheritance," never in my mind do I automatically go to money. I never do that. Like actually, it's usually the last thing I think of when I think of inheritance. Um, Now, personally, I've inherited money before, like a large chunk of money. That's what I used to buy my first townhouse. Uh, I've inherited objects, things that are near and dear to my heart, and only from a few loved ones. I've lost a lot of loved ones in my lifetime, a lot of friends, a lot of soul family, but I've never had a lot of keepsakes. Like I have a select few and that's it. And typically, like on my mom's side of the family, when a female died, all the women would get something. And when a man died, all the men would get something. You know what I'm saying? So, like when all the men were dying on my mom's side of the family, I didn't inherit anything. But like when my grandmother died, I got something from her passing, an object that she used to have. Um, I don't think I got anything from my cousin Cheryl or my aunt Charlene. I was offered specific things, and I was like, no, that's okay. Like you guys should hold on to it for like your kids and that kind of thing, um, or do whatever you want with it. But I was like, no, that's okay, thank you. Because in my mind, I have pictures, I have memories. You know what I mean? Like I don't necessarily need an inheritance. But yeah, most of the things that I've inherited have been objects and not money. So whenever I hear that, the first thing I think of is, oh, okay, like you're being left something, like maybe even a car, or I don't know, whatever. But when I saw this card, it says ancestral. My first thought was that somebody's coming in with evidence that someone tried to steal like your inheritance. But again, when it came out and I thought that, money was not the first thing I thought of. I was thinking either like some type of object that you could hold in your hand, something that again would be near and dear to your heart, or possibly some type of gift, like being psychic, visions, intuition, whatever the case may be. Maybe you have witchy vibes and it runs down through your family and you inherited it when so and so passed away. I was getting those kind of things. But I think that scenario is like not for most of you. Like I think you would literally have to be going through some type of like a what do they call it? Like a back and forth, a pull and tug. Like if you're fighting with family members over stuff. I feel like that's the only time that this scenario would resonate, if that makes sense. Like you would already know, have some type of idea. Like I think I got fucked over. Somebody out there got fucked over. Like if somebody told you like, "Oh, you wanted the teapot, but I couldn't find it." They have the teapot. You know what I mean? Like somebody out there is lying and saying like, "Oh, I don't have that for you," but they have it. Okay? And I feel like it's an object. I really feel like it's some type of object, like something you can hold in your hand. That's why I said like jewelry, cuz in my mind that would probably be the most likely. But then again, it could be anything. I said teapot. Maybe it's teapot. I don't know. I don't know. The unsatisfied card, it says hard to please, unsatisfied, hard to please. Whoever is coming in with this information, with this evidence, they're coming in with this information because they were unsatisfied by the situation. So a typical scenario would be, like a family member dies and the executor of the state, who is also another family member, divvies up all the goods, right? And the money. And again, let's say you asked for the teapot or your name was on the list, like, "Oh, Toby gets the teapot." They come to you, you're Toby. They come to you and they say, "I couldn't find the teapot. She must have sold it or gave it away or da 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 da, one and the other. Whoever this person is someone that also either didn't get what they thought they were going to get, or they felt like gypped in some type of way. Or maybe not even that. Maybe they just felt, when this like person passed away and they were left something, maybe they just felt like they were overlooked. But they know that you got fucked over in some type of way. Do you know what I'm saying? And again, this is not a scenario that's going to be for everybody. Now, overall, either scenario, whoever is coming in with this evidence for this coming in with a conversation about evidence, um, this person with the suspicion card, it says doubt and distrust. This person is very unsure of themselves. Like, it's almost like somebody coming in to tell you a truth, but they themselves are so flabbergasted by whatever this truth is, like they almost don't want to say anything because they want to believe it's not real. You know what I mean? Doubt. Like they doubt, but kind of like not the opposite way, but kind of like in a different way. Like there's just something about the information the evidence that they're bringing to you in this conversation, that they doubt it. Like there's it's almost like shock. It's almost like shock, right? So it's like, and I'm just gonna use like an off the wall crazy example because that'll help you like realize it, right? So you go about your life and your relative Tanya calls you and says, Uncle Uncle Rupert died. Uncle Rupert died. Okay, fine. So sad, whatever. A month later, this person is like, hey, can we meet up for coffee? Like, I have something to tell you. And you were very close with your Uncle Rupert. This relative comes in, you guys meet for coffee, and Tanya's like, I just wanted to let you know that um, we kind of weren't saying anything and we wanted to wait a little bit, but you know, Uncle Rupert passed away from a heart attack, and you're like, oh yeah, I know, da 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 da. And then um this Tanya tells you, well, he passed away from a heart attack, but he was in a hotel room with a lady of the evening. And you're floored, right? Like you're like, wait, what? like double take. Tanya is in shock as well. This person is going to come into you. That was an example. This person is going to come into you with information, this evidence, and it's like they're in shock over it, but they feel like they need to tell you, even though they almost don't quite believe it. Like they believe it, but they don't. So it's going to be something. In my mind, it's either going to be something like really like fabulous, because for some of you, whatever this conversation, this evidence is, it could possibly be more positive than negative. I don't want to always just throw a negative tone onto everything. So this person could come in with like some type of, conversation about something positive, and you're both in shock about it. More than likely, right? More than likely, this person is going to come in with a conversation with evidence of something that is so shockingly, I don't want to say evil, but maybe like dark, maybe like something that would typically floor like your average individual. I feel like for some of you, you might not be as shocked as this person is when they tell you. Because for some of you, you have intuition, you have psychic abilities. You might have already seen something, felt something, heard something. So some of you are not going to be quite as shocked as this person. But I feel like whatever it is, it technically is quite shocking, but on the dark side. What is that? It's like it's from like Hocus Pocus or something where they're like toil something something trouble some toil something something trouble. It might be like witchy. It might be like dark magic or something like that. And this person is going to come in to tell you because they feel like they need to tell you, but they're going to still be in shock over it because they almost don't want to believe it. And I think for most of you, you're going to be like, "Oh, okay, thanks for telling me." And this person is going to be like, "Can you believe it?" And you're kind of like, "Yeah, I can." And I think it's going to lead to a bigger conversation of possibly an inner working of like a family or a group or an, I don't want to say organization, because when you say organization, I feel like, ooh, FBI or the police or judges, or no, it's more like a family or a group, um coworker, like a group of coworkers, or just like a group of friends. Like it's going to lead to a conversation about something that was secretly going on, I think, and this person didn't really realize it, or if they were seeing it, they weren't seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Like they weren't awake. But I think for whoever you are, I think it's something that you're not really too shocked about. this person that's coming in, they're going to be disappointed in whatever the situation is that they have to talk about. Like I said, it's going to be like shock. And then I think on the back end, like they're going to be disappointed in a situation or possibly a person or possibly like I said, a whole group maybe. It says unmet expectations. So they like this person might have been a part of something and they thought something was going to go one way and it just went in a totally different direction. You could liken that to like a karmic relationship, like somebody coming back to tell you they got with another person. I'm not really getting that vibe. I'm not really getting that vibe. This person is thinking about the evidence, about having a conversation, about what's going on in their world pertaining to this evidence, because I don't think this person like has evidence like to take to the police or the FBI or the CIA or anything like that. I think they just know of evidence, and I think in the background somewhere it's already with the police or the FBI, or maybe it's just with God. Maybe this is, a courtroom of God. I don't know. But I think this person knows the evidence and is coming in to say something, but there's something going on in the background. Like there's something legal going on there. And again, it could be here on this plane, on this earth, or it could be in the spiritual realm. I'm going to take how it resonates. I mean, technically, eventually, it should play out on both planes, technically. This person with the fixated, um, obsessive interest and the inseparable magnetic pull. This is someone that might feel that way in regards to you because again, I said that they weren't in love with you, but they do have love for you. They do care for you. This is someone that maybe there has been a magnetic attraction, a sexual attraction in the past, and nothing ever happened. And this person is slightly obsessed with you, fixated on you. Um, I just heard wish fulfillment. I think we did a reading like that last night and a few days ago with the wish card from the Twin Flames Exposed Oracle deck, I think. But this person is also fixated on this situation. Having the conversation, the evidence that they want to bring to you to talk to you about. They're very fixated on this. And again, I think it just goes back to the fact that this person is in shock. Like whatever is learned, whatever is being told to you, this person is still in shock about it. Like they can't believe it. And I'm not going to lie, I don't get any like, and I'm just going to say like I don't get any unaliving vibes. I don't get any like death vibes per se, but I also wouldn't want to rule that out just because I don't think that that's it, but I don't want to rule it out. I just don't. Um, and for some reason, I feel very strongly about that. I just don't. I don't. The other thing, too, that I'm getting from this, so if this person, you had some type of vibe with them in the past, again, they're not in love with you. I'm not getting that. But there is like affection there. You might feel the same way, or maybe you once did and you no longer do. I don't know. This person does feel that there is a possibility in the future for something more. Now, you take how that resonates. You could be married, you could be in a relationship. I would never tell you to leave one person and go to another. I would never tell you to go back to a past person. I'm just going to tell you what the energy is, and I'm just going to tell you what I'm seeing and hearing and feeling. This person thinks that there could be possibly a connection between the two of you in the future, like some type of romance. That being said, I don't know, like this person doesn't feel like they're involved with anybody. Um but I am kind of getting like someone that probably is more like a player energy, but and that could be feminine or masculine, but this person, oh, I almost had a heart attack. I thought the wrong earring was out of the ear or something. Um this person, this is probably just someone that was more of like a casual dater, a friends with benefits, here today, gone tomorrow. I don't make any commitments. I'm I'm feeling that this person is usually open and honest about it. Like I'm not seeing any like, oh, I'm going to trick you, or you know what I mean? Like this person is, I feel like they're pretty straightforward. But whatever the case may be, they do see possibly a future with you in a relationship. I mean, again, take how that resonates, because if this is a past person, like how long has it been since you've even talked to them? How long has it been since you've seen them? You know? I also think that when this person comes in for this conversation and they have this evidence, whatever that may be, again, I'm getting the shock and like the doubt, like this can't be real kind of thing, but also like very emotional. And you, for some of you, might be very emotional on the inside when you hear this, but you're going to play it cool on the outside, and you're going to be like, well, I'm not, I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? Like you're going to play it very cool even though you might be ready to burst on the inside. Um but I'm getting it could possibly be very emotional. And again, if somebody comes in to tell you something and they tell you and you do get outwardly emotional, there is no shame in that. I'm just going to say that there's no shame in that. I cry all the time, all the time. I mean, I've cried on here before. Um I get angry all the time. We're humans. We have all the emotions. We have the whole range. We're all actors in this human studio. So, when people tell you like, "Oh, you shouldn't behave like that in public." Well, fuck you. Like, if I'm angry and I'm not necessarily angry at somebody, like I'm not going to beat somebody up, but I'm angry, I should be able to voice my anger. If I'm upset and I'm crying, I'm going to cry. I don't hide that for anybody, because I don't feel like people should hide that. You know, I think we just talked about this the other day. We're taught at a very young age to hold everything in, to be a good little girl, a good little boy. Don't touch anything, don't look at anything, don't look at anyone, don't say anything, be quiet. You're tiny, sit in your chair, don't move. Mm, no. No. We're talking about little humans that are growing every day, and you're telling them to sit still, pretend to be a statue, and don't show any emotion. Why would you do that to a tiny little human that is growing every day, that you want to become a good human? a well-rounded human, someone that's going to treat other humans good. Why would you do that to them? Why would you build them down like that? You should be building them up. And I say every day, all day, there is no problem. Like showing your emotions, I will never ever fault a person for that. And in fact, when people start to cry, I typically start to cry because I feel for them. I can feel it. Like I'm starting to cry right now. I can feel it. Don't ever be afraid to show your emotion. If this conversation happens and you hear about this evidence, this story, this scenario, whatever, and you get upset, you get upset. Oh well. It is what it is. And if you hold it in because you feel like you need to not show this person emotion, that's fine too. When you go home, when you get in your car and you go home and you pull into the garage, let it out. Let it out. Do not hold that in for the rest of your life. Do not. Please do not hold that in. Again, you were already taught to hold enough in from a very young age. Don't hold anything in now. Because it not only does it not help you, but it doesn't help your future relationships, right? The people you come into contact with. You should always be open and honest. It's kind of funny. I just had a situation at work yesterday with a guy. And one of my friends is always like, "Oh, he likes you. He likes you." I'm like, "Well, I don't date people at work. I just don't." And even though I'm very tempted, I do not. And he's snarky. He's very snarky. He makes comments to people. He'll make like he's the type of person that will come up to me in front of another person and make comments about that person to me. I just find that absolutely disrespectful. And even though he says he's joking, it doesn't give the joking vibe. It really just does not. And every once in a while, like, ha ha ha, I could see that. Like if I did that to one of my friends, like every, 2 to 3 years, okay, fine. It's a joke, whatever. But when he does this every day to every person he talks to, and he's an attention seeker. Like he needs the attention. So if you're not giving him attention, he's going to do that. He's going to come to me and be like, "Oh, so and so, like da 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 da." And they're standing right there. It's like I'm done. And I told him yesterday, I kind of went off. And I feel bad on the one hand because I went off, but I told him I'm like I don't want to hear it. I'm like, nobody wants to hear this. Like, you're snarky, you make comments that are unnecessary. I said, please go away. And he came back to me later when I was on my lunch yesterday. And he's like, well, I can't believe you talked to me like that. And he looks so upset. And I'm looking at him, and I don't want to say that he was not upset. But when I tell you that I looked at him and I thought, oh, you're just jerking me around because you want me to apologize to you because you want me to feel bad when you know that you were in the wrong. Like he knew. He knew. And he didn't talk to me today. He didn't talk to my friend today. Um, he's, whatever. Okay, fine. Like as adults, we need to recognize like who a true friend is, who a work friend is, who an acquaintance is. Like he was like I didn't even really consider him a work friend if you want me to be honest, because I would see him, like maybe a couple times a week, say hi, whatever. Like that's it. Like I don't know what he thought. And maybe my friend was right. Maybe he did have a crush on me. I don't know. But I feel bad for putting him in his place, but at the same time, when I saw his reaction, I knew. I knew he was doing that on purpose because he thought he was going to get me to say I'm sorry and feel bad for him. And, no, I don't. Like, you treat people like trash and you say it's a joke, but you do it every time with every person. How can that be a joke? You know? But yeah, I had that experience yesterday, and Like I felt bad on the one hand, but on the other hand, I was like, no, I'm not gonna apologize. Like I feel bad, but I'm not. And I was talking to my friend about it this morning, and she's like, I wouldn't apologize to him. She's like, look at how he talks to me. Look at how he talks to you. Look at how he talks to everybody. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm not gonna apologize. Um, yeah, I'm not. I'm just not. And it's kind of funny because sorry, I'm getting nasally because my nose is stuffy. Um, I've noticed a lot lately, especially with the guys at work, like they're just acquaintances. Like I don't have a lot of guy friends there that I would consider friends. And the one that I did turned out to be a real turd. So, like I don't even consider them a friend anymore. Um, but yeah, I noticed like a lot of guys like it's funny, they do not have any problem treating you like trash and then turning it around and being like, well, you said this to me and you upset me and oh my god. And it's like, I'm sorry, are you a woman? Like I'm confused because it's almost like I feel like I should be talking to like, a a, a, te- a female 10th grader or something in high school. Like it's like they're not behaving like men. And then it's funny to me because if you comment on this and you say something, then they get all offended, and then you're the asshole, like you're the jerk, and then you're the one that's projecting onto them, and da da da. Okay, fine, whatever. Like I'm not gonna argue with you. Um, and that's why I don't even really think of a lot of people I work with anymore as friends or as work friends. Like to me, a lot of them are just acquaintances. Like if I ever leave my job, like I'm probably gonna keep in touch with like two of them, three of them, maybe. You know, it's sad, but the state of relationships out there, like there's a lot of entitled people that will just treat you like trash, like garbage, and then when you say something or you call them out or um you accidentally do the same thing to them because you being a good person, like you're not going to do that to them, but then something happens and they feel slighted. When they feel slighted, oh my god, oh, this person kind of gives off a little bit of that energy. I'm not like, and maybe they were like that with you in the past because now it seems more like, again, like they're in shock, but like more like a calm energy, more like, hey, I care for you, so I'm going to come in and tell you this because somebody told me and I think it's crazy, but apparently it's the truth, and here it is. And again, it doesn't matter male, female, it doesn't matter. Let me see if there's any timing oracle for this. 43 minutes. What the heck? All I did was ramble on. Next spring. We got that yesterday? I think we got that yesterday. By the end of the month. Let's do one more shuffle here. So it's kind of like the gambit. Like for some of you, it could be the end of the month. For some of you, it could be sometime between next spring. Bottom of the deck is March. Okay, guys. Okay, come on. Top of the deck. I never pull top of the deck, but top of the deck, let it be a mystery. Ooh, let it be a mystery. I know. I know. Oh, let it be a mystery. I like that. I don't know that we've ever pulled that card for anything. I don't even know if I remember ever seeing that card. That's kind of crazy. I'm going to leave it there. Um, I'm not going to pull any of the unspoken because that stuff, those cards are more like words about like relation. Like I don't want to pull that because I don't think that's really going to resonate with this conversation and this evidence. You know what I'm saying? Because those cards are more like relationship oriented, typically like lovers and past and present, you know what I mean? Like, and that's not really the energy here. At least I'm not getting that. Especially with the person that's coming in with the conversation. I really don't think that you guys were like maybe other than friends of some kind. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope it resonated. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you found it entertaining. I hope everybody has a lovely, I always say lovely, Friday evening. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.